Ladies and gentlemen, guests and students, we're here today to hear from Professor Brendan Kennelly, one of Ireland's most prestigious and loved contemporary poets. Only last week he was honoured by the President Higgins in Dublin, and the kingdom now comes to the People Republic of Cork. Now you're very welcome, very welcome. He hails from Ballylongford, County Kerry, and amongst his many accolades, he is uncle to our own lovely Miss Maeve Kennelly. He is accompanied today by his brother and sister Paddy, and Anne, and sister-in-law Kate, and you're very, very welcome. A gifted footballer, he played at local, county, and All-Ireland level, playing the 1954 All-Ireland for Kerry. Go on. I read you once said, "I think any man who doesn't lose his temper about football is not to be trusted." This passion and humour has definitely seeped into your literature. This man, who was once a bus conductor in London, went on to take up position as Professor of Modern Literature in Trinity College Dublin for 42 years. I believe he would prepare his lectures late into the night, till about 3 or 4 in the morning, and then he'd go out around Dublin, walking the streets, talking to the homeless, and conversing the night away. Above all, Brendan is a prolific writer. He has published over 30 books of poetry, edited many anthologies, written 3 plays and 2 novels. Not bad for one man. Like Brendan, my father came from a farming background, and he had next to him at his bedside 2 books that he would read religiously every night before he'd go into a deep snore. And one was a very old leather-bound copy of the Bible, and the second was a book of Irish verse. And I distinctly remember snaking into the room and daring to read what transfixed him, and being wholly disappointed by both. Yeah. It was many years later that I learned Brendan had edited the Penguin Book of Irish Verse, and seeing this feisty, funny, extremely controversial character on the radio and TV, that I began to read his poetry. There I saw a man who gave a voice to the most damned, Cromwell and Judas no less. In Poem from a 3-year-old, you capture the sometimes I would call brutal honesty of a child. In Begin, you offered infinite hope, and you challenged us to look at every day and every mundane thing with fresh, hopeful eyes. So it should have been no surprise last week when I walked into an English class and I read his poetry for the first time, that I heard utterances of real, hopeful, honest, a bit of a rogue, and Brendan, you're all of those things. Thus, I know I speak for many of the incredible gratitude for the legacy of literature that you have given our children and their children to come. If I may end, because we all want to hear about him, not me. If I can borrow your words. When mad leave argosies drive at my head, I try but fail to give you proper praise for the excitement you have created in my world. Ladies and gentlemen, Brendan Kennelly.
Thanks very much for those generous words. It's a great privilege to me to be in this and beautiful school, and the surroundings, the generosity and the style and the beauty of the place, and the welcoming souls of the people, and young and not so young. I don't say old anymore, because I am old now, so I don't use it. I'm getting the pension. Well, I'd love to do is to say or read a few poems for you, and to thank you for your presence in such a beautiful place and with so many lovely people. Thank you. First one is Begin. I had a heart operation some years ago, and when I woke up after the operation, I just felt grateful to God for the opportunity to be alive, to begin again. It's a very strange old feeling to, you know, when you're being operated on and they stick a couple of needles into you and you're gone, and the next thing when you wake up, the surgeon says, "Oh Jesus, you're still alive." I am, I said, so. But it is thrilling to be given a new shot of life and to be grateful to be able to begin again. It's a new opportunity, a new day. I think this poem gives me, or gave me, a chance to talk to God and say to him, thank you, God, for enabling me to begin again. So I'll read the poem for you now, or I might say it. Begin again to the carolling birds, to the sight of light at the window. Begin to the roar of morning traffic all along Pembroke Road. Every beginning is a promise, born in light and dying in dark. Determination and exaltation of springtime, flowering the way to work. Begin to the pageant of queuing girls, to the arrogant loneliness of swans in the canal, to bridges linking the past and future, old friends passing, though with us still. Begin to the loneliness that cannot end, since it, perhaps, is what makes us begin. Begin to wonder at unknown faces, at crying birds in the sudden rain, at branches stark in the willing sunlight, at seagulls foraging for bread, at couples sharing a sunny secret, alone, together, while making good. Though we live in a world that dreams of ending, that always seems about to give in, something that will not acknowledge conclusion insists that we forever begin. And no matter where you go or how you get there, may I wish you a permanent, happy beginning. Thank you. This little one is called Poem from a 3-year-old. I've always thought that children of about 3 or even younger have a kind of a wisdom that we lose in education. I mean, that they are so wise about things. The other day, I happened to see a 3-year-old. She came up to me in the nursing home where I live, and she said, "Oh God, you look old and ugly, God bless you." I said, "I am," and I gave her a $5. And she said, "Oh God, you're decent as well. Were you robbing the bank?" And I think what they do is they ask questions that more adult people, wouldn't ask. And they can give intelligent answers as well. In many children, the sense of wonder is alive and active. And wonder is, it's everywhere. Look at the room full of you at the moment. I'd want to be a blind, halfway giant to be, not to be impressed by the beauty of this gathering, And this little child was looking at some flowers, and she asked me questions, and I couldn't answer. But I wrote them down afterwards. Poem from a 3-year-old. And will the flowers die? And will the people die? And every day do you grow old? Do I grow old? No, I'm not old. Do flowers grow old? Old things, do you throw them out? Do you throw old people out? And how you know a flower that's old? The petals fall. The petals fall from flowers. And do the petals fall from people too? Every day more petals fall until the floor where I would like to play, I want to play, is so covered with old flowers and people, all the same, together lying there with petals falling on the dirty floor. I want to play. The floor you come and sweep with the huge broom, that dirt you sweep. What happens then? What happens all the dirt you sweep from flowers and people? What happens all the dirt? Is all the dirt what's left of flowers and people? All the dirt there in a heap under the huge broom that sweep everything away. And why you work so hard? Why brush and sweep to make a heap of dirt? And who will bring new flowers? And who will bring new people? Who will bring new flowers to put in water where no petals fall onto the floor where I would like to play, I want to play? Who will bring new flowers that will not hang their heads like tired old people wanting sleep? Who will bring new flowers that do not split and shrivel every day? And if we have new flowers, will we have new people too to keep the flowers alive and give them water? And will the new young flowers die? And will the new young people die? And why? Why do people have to die? I couldn't answer.